300 student athletes, 29 teams, one pride, wearing the blue and white, all for the glory of Old State. This is your weekly roar on GoPSUSports.com.
Welcome everyone to this week's edition of For the Glory. I'm Gia Motel and we're here at the Bryce Jordan Center prior to Lady Lion Basketball Media Day. The Penn State football team lost their homecoming matchup to Illinois with a score of 33-13. Let's go to Tony Mancuso, who has his report on Saturday's game.
The Nittany Lions fell to 3-3 on Saturday afternoon following a 33-13 setback to Illinois. Penn State now heads into a much-needed bye week. The ever-growing injury report has been the big story this fall. 10 players on the Nittany Lion defense alone were either inactive, left the game, or played through an injury on Saturday afternoon. The Lions will use the next 2 weeks to get healthier and regroup before traveling to Minnesota. Some positive news on the injury front. Talented receiver Curtis Drake and linebacker Gerald Hodges are getting closer to a return. Stay tuned to the All Sports blog this week for bye-week content, including a video feature on Kevin Newsom and his love for music. Also, look for a feature story on Coach Paterno and his relationship with fellow coaches around the Big Ten. And as always, stay tuned for content on all 29 sports teams on campus. We have Penn State Lady Lion Basketball Media Day this afternoon, in addition to the men's soccer team hosting #1 Akron on Wednesday. We also have plans to sit down with women's volleyball head coach Russ Rose in his office. Stay tuned to the All Sports blog throughout the week.
The Nittany Lions will regroup during their off week and then travel to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers next Saturday. We're only a few weeks away from the Penn State football team's matchup against Michigan, and there's no better time than now to order your 2010 Penn State Nike Whiteout t-shirt for only $15. And while you're at it, check out the rest of the GoPSUSports.com store for all of your favorite Penn State teams merchandise. The official online store for Penn State gear is only at GoPSUSports.com. The Penn State men's soccer team earned its first home shutout last Wednesday against Villanova with a 1-0 win. The Nittany Lions upped their season record to 7-3 before entering the crucial stretch of the 2010 season. Senior midfielder Drew Koss scored the game's lone goal, netting his second of the season. On Sunday, Penn State knocked off Michigan State in a 2-1 victory. Let's check in with Sophia Perry, who covered Sunday's win.
I'm Sophia Perry for GoPSUSports.com. Today on Jeffrey Field, the Nittany Lions defeated the Michigan State Spartans, giving them their first conference win of the season. This Big Ten matchup was the most physical we've seen so far this season, totaling in 6 yellow cards. Penn State started off aggressive as ever with a shot on goal in the first seconds of the game. However, they failed to keep up this fast play for the rest of the half, allowing a goal by Michigan State. Penn State picked up the slack in the second half of the game. The back four did a terrific job keeping the ball away from the net, allowing only 3 shots on goal. Braga broke through the Spartan defense, netting his 3rd ball of the season and giving Arnett his 7th assist of the season. Minutes before the end of regulation, Braga found Herzog. The final score, Penn State 2, Michigan State 1.
Corey Herzog's goal on Sunday added to his NCAA leading 11th goal of the year. Up next, Penn State will face the #1 team in the country, Akron, on Wednesday night at Jeffrey Field. Game time is set for 7 p.m. and admission is free. The number 16 ranked Penn State field hockey team improved to 9-3 with a win over the defending Big Ten champs Michigan State with a final score of 4-1. Goals were scored by Deneen Zug, Hannah Allison, and 2 by Kelsey Amy. The Nittany Lions will be back in action on Sunday when the team heads to Columbus for a 1 p.m. matchup with Ohio State. Follow the game on Game Tracker on GoPSUSports.com for all of the game's action and scores. The Penn State women's soccer team traveled to Northwestern in Iowa this past weekend, coming away with 2 victories to up their Big Ten record to 3-1. Christine Nairn's start on Friday night as she keyed a comeback for Penn State with 2 goals in a 2-1 win at Northwestern. Powered by a pair of first career goals from Brie Garcia and Julie Hubbard, Penn State defeated Iowa 3-0 on Sunday. Coach Walsh talked about the team's efforts after Sunday's win.
Just, I was really proud of the players coming off the bench today. We had 3 players score coming off the bench, and been telling our team all along it's going to take all 24 to get these results and grind out these results, and today was a good example of that.
Sophomore goalkeeper Chrissy Tribbitt earned Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, and forward Tani Costa garnered Freshman of the Week honors. The Nittany Lions will host 2 Big Ten squads this weekend, Minnesota on Friday night at 7 and Wisconsin Sunday at noon. The team will hold a post-game autograph session on Sunday, and admission is free to both games. This week for GoPSUSports.com auctions, we feature an autographed Sports Illustrated magazine from Penn State Heisman winner John Cappelletti, an autographed mini helmet from Navarro Bowman, and a signed football from ESPN personality Colin Cowherd. GoPSUSports.com auctions is the official home for exclusive memorabilia for all Penn State fans. The Penn State women's volleyball team had a rough road trip this weekend, dropping both of its matches to Purdue and Indiana. On Friday versus Purdue, Deja McClendon led all players with a career high of 20 kills and was third on the team with 11 digs. Against the Hoosiers, Blair Brown led the Nittany Lions with 13 kills, and Ariel Wilson posted a match high of 5 blocks. Penn State returns home this weekend to host Minnesota on Friday night and Iowa on Saturday night. The match with Minnesota will air on ESPN2 via tape delay on Sunday at 1 p.m. The Lady Lions hosted Media Day on Monday to introduce the 2010-2011 women's basketball squad to the local and regional media. We caught up with Coquise Washington at Saturday's football game to hear her thoughts about the upcoming season.
Well, I'm excited about our team. We're really young, but we're very talented, and I think we have a chance to make some big steps in the conference play this year.
For more on Media Day, check back on GoPSUSports.com. There's still time to get your seats at FedEx Field for the November 20th matchup against Indiana. Also remember that 5% of all ticket sales with a maximum of $150,000 will be donated to Penn State's Dance Marathon, the world's largest run student philanthropy benefiting the Four Diamonds Fund. Penn State Nittany Lion and Lady Lion single game tickets went on sale this past Friday. Grab your seats now for all the hoops action this season at the Bryce Jordan Center. There is also a limited number of lower bowl seating for season tickets still available. Call 865-5555 or log on to gopsusports.com/tickets to order today. Want to connect with thousands of other blue and white fans? You can by becoming a fan on facebook.com/Penn State Nittany Lions, and for you Tweeple, you can check out our Twitter section on gopsusports.com and follow assistant football coach Jay Paterno on what the team worked on during their off week preparing for Minnesota. Send For the Glory a tweet at GoPSUSports1 with tag For the Glory and tell us what special features you'd like to see on our show. That's all for today's show, but tune in next week as we recap all the Penn State sports in action. I'm Gia Motel, and this is For the Glory.